As we've been showing you in the past few vlogs, we've got some building going on here at our place. We're actually doing a perimeter fence to improve the security of the place and building a gate on the front of the house, which is more about aesthetic, I guess, than security. We also had the kitchen roof replaced, which needed to. It was a maintenance issue. Now, the reason we're choosing to do this now is her uncle and his friend are free to begin the building work. It's been very difficult to get somebody to help us with this, and it's always really been her family and her uncle that have helped build from the cottage to the extensions here. And we've been waiting quite a long time to get him. Usually they're busy with the rice fields, or he's looking after his cows, or he has another job. And one of the things I wanted to share with you today is one of the big reasons that he is free and available, and that's because there's not much building work going on in the village at all. There's a number of reasons for this. One of them is lack of funds, but the other one is the increase in price in materials here, which I'm going to be talking about later on in this vlog. But first, I really wanted to correct something from the previous vlog to this, and some subscribers did point this out too. Her uncle did replace the kitchen roof, and the materials for the replacement cost 14,000 baht. In the previous vlog, I said that his worker fee was 7,000 baht. That was incorrect. It turned out that his worker fee to replace the whole roof was only 2,000 baht. Now, it does seem this is going to turn into a bit of a building series, because with her uncle now, he's 60 years old. This might be the last time that we ever get our uncle to be able to build here, and it may be difficult in future to find a team to do it that we trust and that we know is going to do a good job for us. And so we've decided we're going to be doing more building work, and we're going to be extending this extension one more over, simply because my eldest son needs a bedroom. And we're also planning to install a jacuzzi room around the back, which is something we're going to be working on over the series of these coming vlogs, and our uncle has agreed to help us with these projects. And so we're back at it again, guys. Those that have been long-term followers of the channel will know that this has been a very heavily building and interior design and that kind of thing, content driven channel. And so I'm glad to say we are back at it. We enjoy it. This will be our final extension. This will be the final thing I think that we build on this piece of land, and so we're quite excited for it. Now, very much in line with that, over this past week, our uncle's been working on the gate at the front of the house. This one is Damo's brainchild. She is the one that came up with this idea. It's very much based on a Balinese aesthetic. The entrance to homes in Bali usually have quite large gates. The preliminary building of the gate has just involved the construction of these columns, and we have a steel roof on top. Now, as you will see, these tiles were the same tiles as what was used on the cottage, and when we built the cottage and the extension, we actually had a surplus of these left over, and we thought, well, that's great, they'll do the roof and we won't have to foot a bill. However, we didn't have enough, and the ones that were left some of them were pretty dirty and degraded. So what we had to do is head on down to the local supplier, where we had to choose out the tiles again. They're a really nice shade of orange. I really like them. I think they go with our place very well with the white walls. And we did take the opportunity to have a look around for anything we might need for the new room as well, and the perimeter fence. We're pretty used to this over the years, guys, like shopping around at these places and getting our own materials. That's the way we've always worked in Thailand. We have hired the builders, but we organize all of our own materials. We learned a lot through the process. I have to say, at the beginning, we knew jack crap about anything. And now over the years, we've learned what we require for the build, what the costs generally are, and we have a good grasp of what we need. We've learned a lot of that through subscribers as well, and people that have done similar projects here in Thailand. If you are ever going to come and live in rural Thailand, I cannot recommend enough having a pickup truck. There is a reason why pickup trucks in Thailand are one of the best-selling types of vehicle, particularly the Isuzu, or in my case, it's a Toyota. This thing can take 1,000 kg on the back. When you've got yourself a pickup truck, it means you're going to save money on delivery costs. We also save ourselves 3 days waiting time for the delivery. We can just take the tiles straight away. and they simply load them up. I mean, this is really nothing for this truck. I think the total was around 350 kg, something like that. So it could quite easily handle 2x this. Bearing in mind, I also have the rooftop tent, which is around 75 kg, and I have to take into account when I'm loading up the truck. But if you want to save time and money, it is an absolutely worthwhile vehicle to have. It's not necessary to buy a brand new Toyota or Isuzu. You can get many decent ones out on the market for, you know, lower prices, but the practicality of having a pickup truck in comparison to, say, you know, a Mazda like I've had before is priceless. So we loaded up the tiles, brought them back, and Kunlung could unload them, and he can finish off to where we're at, as you can see here, or for the front gate, which the whole thing has taken maybe 7 to 9 days, and so far I think it's been a real success. I think they've done a great job on it. The thing with Kunlung, our uncle, he really knows what we like, and he asks us all along the way, you know, is this right? Is this right? And you can come and you can ask him to change something, and it's just no problem at all. He's quite an inspiring person, like even at 60 years old, to still be working this hard, and he's physically fit. He's not drinking rice whiskey, he's not drinking beer even anymore. He's turned to a healthy lifestyle. However, getting to the meat and potatoes of today, what we have seen, and Damo and I being so familiar with building here in rural Thailand, is that the prices have definitely gone up, and this is in particular on steel and some of the materials that we've used that we get from a local supplier. It is cheaper if we buy from one of the main hubs on the steel, and in future when we do this extension we might have to do that. Let's ask Damo a little bit about this. Maybe she can explain better than I can. What's different this time compared to our other builds?
Compared to when we built 2 years ago, it's much more expensive, everything, especially steel. Yeah, steel is so expensive right now. So from my idea, gonna build something cheap and nice, is actually
What was the budget you told me earlier for materials? What did you say it was going to be?
The first time I think I earned over than 5,000 baht for the material, right? And then they told me about 10,000 baht. But when the real bill come, 20k.
20,000 baht.
Not even include rendering, not include the floor. Yeah, still much more, a lot more than.
I know workers' fee, this is all just materials.
Yeah, this only material. Small bill like this, you know, like 20k already for the material. That is so surprised.
But many people at home in their home countries will say, wow, that's so cheap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, compared to what it will cost you in the UK to build something like this. It'd be like
Thai people that complain about that. If you build a house right now, it's gonna be more expensive.
Now onto the planned extension. There will be maybe 2 bedrooms, one for each son, or maybe 1 bedroom, one for my oldest son. I'm not decided yet. But there'll also be this kind of bathroom jacuzzi room behind, which we plan to look like this. Back in the day, we would have costed something like this at around 300,000, something like that, and probably gone over. But in this case, I don't think we're going to get away with anything less than 500,000 baht for a budget like this to create something, you know, nice and tiled and a finished product. Now, the building process out of the way, Damo and I have also been quite busy. A number of subscribers asked about a previous vlog that I'd released in regard to my work permit. Some people had said you don't actually get a card anymore. Everything is like an e-work permit and it's on a screen. I can tell you that in the case of Buriram province, in our case anyway, we went down to collect the work permit to the work permit van, and we went in and we did get a physical card. So I can report that in this province at least, you do get a physical work permit card. Mine says YouTuber, and it details some of my other business endeavors here. And so it's a physical card. The process was pretty simple. There was no long waiting lists or long queues or anything like that. We took the opportunity as well to go and get some Turkish coffee from a local place, which is located very close to Buriram Ram Hospital. If you're ever in Buriram, stop by and get yourself some of this Turkish coffee. It's really well, we loved it. Fantastic. We love something different like that, especially when you find a little hole in the wall that you've not been to before and you don't know about. I've said quite a few on this channel. I really should say more. There's quite a few really top places that I found in Buriram, and I'll let you know maybe next time we do a visit. I don't really do the travel vlogging thing too much. I'm more of an expat vlogger, I guess. And so I don't talk about the places we go so much. However, this Turkish place was definitely worth having on the list in Buradam. We also always stop by the train station to get some lukchin for Damo. She can't get enough of this stuff. It's mainly processed meats. I don't eat it, and I don't let the kids eat it, to Damo's dismay, but she loves it. A lot of it is just processed meat. And talking about kids, those that were asking about the other kids on the farm, they're all doing great. Actually, we just went to one of the schools just yesterday to donate some sports equipment. They were telling Damo and I, one of the kids, that there's no volleyballs to play there anymore. They're all popped. And the volleyball nets are all falling apart. So we took a big bag of volleyballs down there just to support the school. It's something that we do quite often. I don't talk about it a lot on the channel because I don't want the channel to become one of those virtue signaling sort of things, but people do ask about this, and what do you do to support the community? I mean, the community know what we do to support the community. I don't think you need to video it all the time. However, in this case, we thought it was cute seeing the kids, and it was a bit of fun knowing that they all have this sports equipment that they require at the local school now. We're probably going to do something with pens and pencils next time and make sure they've got everything they need there. They're quite underfunded, the schools here. My son doesn't go to that school. He actually goes to a private school, which is a bit further out of town. But to support these very local village schools it's always fun, and it's always fun to see the kids having a good time and having a play, and playing with decent equipment. It doesn't actually cost a lot of money. I think in total we spent around 3,000 baht on volleyballs, so it's not an expensive endeavour, just to give back to the community a little bit here. And so really that is our update for this week, guys. It's been quite a busy one. I'm kind of excited to go back to a building project. Also from the editing perspective and from the channel perspective, I always enjoyed filming the building content and showing how something comes from nothing to something. I like that process, and I know that there are a number of subscribers that like to follow along, and so I'm excited to take you guys on yet another building series, and something that is quite different from what we've done before. So thanks for coming along with us on the channel, and I hope you're all well.